Kid Goku is way stronger than you think. Many think that he could barely even destroy a city or move at Mach speeds. However, they are wrong, and I can prove it with this official Kid Goku power scale. Goku's adventure begins and we are first introduced to him lifting up a car. Cars usually weigh at least a ton, meaning this is pretty impressive for a lifting feat. He also tanks bullets from Bulma and they are barely even scratches for him. These feats pale in comparison to what Goku does just a bit later. Goku and Bulma meet Turtle. Goku decides to bring him back to the ocean after he asks. Goku then crushes a giant rock with his bare hands before lifting Turtle to the ocean. This feat of Goku would have needed Goku to be producing 256 million joules, more than 61 kilograms of TNT, and small building levels of energy. This feat is pretty consistent actually, as later we see Yamcha hit a hungry Goku with an attack known as the Wolf Fang Fist. This attack knocks Goku through multiple stone pillars. For Yamcha to be able to do this feat, he would need to be producing wall levels of energy at 10.6 million joules. However, it's pretty close to the small building range anyway. While this is also lower than Goku's feat as well, we have to keep in mind that Goku is stronger than Yamcha, making it consistent that these characters are able to destroy small buildings. At the end of the arc, Goku is able to transform into a great ape, and he starts destroying Pilaf's castle by throwing building-sized pieces of it. This feat of strength was calculated to take 1.9 billion joules, or weirdly enough, building levels of energy. Goku by the 21st Budokai surpasses this, since he's at a level of 139 in power level for keeping up with Jackie Chun, compared to the 100 power level of the Ozaru at this point in the series, showing that Goku should surpass this level even in base by the next arc. Speed, on the other hand, is hard to calculate. The most we can see is that Goku can react to things while riding the Flying Nimbus. The Flying Nimbus was able to keep up with Mai and Shu's jets, and later was able to keep up with jets from the Red Ribbon Army. Jets even in the real world can move at speeds of 500 to 700 miles per hour. This would put Goku's reaction speed at subsonic plus to transsonic tiers of speed, or just under or around the speed of sound. Goku at this point of the series was taught by Grandpa Gohan martial arts, meaning he is at least a decently skilled fighter. Roshi even thought that Goku and Krillin were skilled enough to participate in Tenkaichi Budokai, and they were only lacking in power. This would make them world-class level fighters. This could possibly scale them above even the 30th Dan in Kempo in the Man Wolf. This is because Jackie Chun one-shotted him in the 22nd Budokai with pure skill with only a pressure point technique. This is compared to Goku and Krillin, who could at least challenge Roshi in the 21st Budokai in skill. Goku may not exactly skill to this in this tournament, but by the next arc he should. Goku also has the power pole, which can even extend all the way to the moon. Goku is really strong in this arc, but he gets way stronger in the next arc. Goku starts off this arc by easily defeating people in the 21st Budokai. The first relevant feat in this arc is when he's fighting Nam, and Goku is able to jump and catch up to Nam's jump, and both their jumps have been calced to Mach 1.5, or 50% faster than sound, which is insanely fast. It gets even faster when Goku free falls and hits Nam. Goku at that moment would need to be moving at Mach 1.83, or 83% faster than sound. These feats are actually pretty consistent with Roshi's air gust that he did against Yamcha, which was calculated at Mach 1.6, or 60% faster than the speed of sound. Goku defeated Nam and made it to the finals. He fights Roshi, and with Roshi fighting at full power, Goku should scale to Roshi destroying Mount Frypan, since he is at least able to clash Kamehamehas with him. Roshi destroyed the mountain in the last arc to blow out a fire. This feat was pulverization, and he destroyed the mountain with enough energy to be small city level, or calculated to 4.18 megatons of energy. The other calc for this feat put it at island levels of energy at 7.2 gigatons. This feat on the high end is 144 times the power of the Sarbama nuclear bomb, the strongest nuclear bomb ever detonated. Goku then turns into a great ape within the middle of the fight, his power level scaling off of Roshi, who would be at a level of 139, timesing that by 10 would put him at 1390. This will be important in just a second. Roshi was forced to destroy the moon to stop the Great Ape. The power level of Roshi when he does this feat is very contentious. The lowest he could have been was 180. The middle level of his power level would have been multiplying a level of 180 by 2.3 times to see how strong the Kamehameha would be using the Kamehameha's multiplier. His power would range between 320 and 414. The final power level we could use for this to scale off of and see which characters scale to this is by saying that Roshi scales to the Ozaru due to defeating it. The most consistent power level for this feat would likely be in the range of 180 and 320 due to a feat Kami does, who's at a power level of 300, which will probably not really scale to Goku directly, but he might scale to a portion by the end, which was calculated to be its small star level in the creation of the moon, and it was also in the exotons when he did this feat. And Goku in this arc doesn't really scale to this, but it's pretty important for later. Goku should now be able to scale to Roshi in skill. Roshi should be somewhat relative with Grandpa Gohan, who had mastered every martial art in the world. At bare minimum, this would mean that Goku should have the relative skill with somebody who has mastered 180 martial arts, which is the amount of martial arts in our real world. This is actually a lowball because of the existence of Manwolf again being a 30th Dan black belt. However, it is pretty headcanon-y to just add extra martial arts due to one character. Goku also has his skills from the last arc and abilities from the last arc. So now let's move on to the Red Ribbon arc where he gets way faster. Goku starts off this arc continuing his journey, but encounters the Red Ribbon army. A feat that happens at the literal start of the arc actually upscales Goku from the last arc and this arc. Roshi casually catches bullets from the Red Ribbon army soldiers. This feat was calculated at Mach 28, making the 21st Budokai characters and characters from this arc way faster. This feat is actually consistent with how feats are portrayed later in this arc, because they get way faster. Goku was able to defeat the threats of Muscle Tower, showing nothing that is too significant. Most he showed was being able to fight underwater for a prolonged period of time, meaning even the mighty Arlong with his blue hockey wouldn't body Goku. Even General Blue doesn't add much besides telling us that Goku isn't immune to psychic abilities. The first significant feat for Goku could scale to is Tao Pai Pai Throwing a pillar. The power isn't impressive, but the speed makes Roshi's feat consistent and look like child's play. Tao Pai Pai throws a pillar from the Red Ribbon base, all the way to the land of Corn. There were 3 calculations for the feat I could find, ranging from Mach 20, 20 times the speed of sound, Mach 41, 41 times the speed of sound, and Mach 82, 82 times the speed of sound. All these speed range from Hypersonic Plus to High Hypersonic Plus in speed. Goku does lose to Tao, but he isn't completely speed blitzed, meaning Goku likely can scale to the feat, at least somewhat, due to Tao being casual when he's fighting Goku and when throwing the pillar. Goku then trains with Korin to make up for his loss to Tao, after climbing his tower of course, eventually being able to complete the training, which was to catch Korin, doing it only in 3 days. For reference, Roshi took 3 years to do the same feat. This training later proves to have increased Goku's speed by leaps and bounds. Goku then defeats Tao Pai Pai in a rematch with only a little bit of struggle. Goku then heads to the Red Ribbon base to get their Dragon Balls to revive Upa's father who had died to Tao. Goku then performs his best speed feat in the arc. Goku dominated the army until fighting the leader's assistant, who killed his leader because he wanted to be taller. Not gonna lie, this part got really weird. The assistant's name was General Black, and he was able to use his battle jacket mecha suit that could fire laser beams. Goku was able to dodge the beams from long range. The speed needed for this feat would put Goku in the range of 5% the speed of light to 11% the speed of light, or subrelativistic to relativistic in speed. Finishes General Black, getting the army's Dragon Balls. He tries to find the last one by trying to get a favor from Oranai Baba, Roshi's sister, needing to fight in her tournament in the end. Goku doesn't really get too much stronger. We learn that he is immune to attacks that use evil against him, as he's pure of heart. And he's even able to match up against Grandpa Gohan in skill, being the latest that Goku really scales to that maximum level of martial arts in the series. Goku is now 100% above Roshi by this point, with Roshi even stating it, and making Goku travel around the world to gain strength instead of training with him. This is the first period where Goku could scale above max power Roshi, giving him moon to large planet level attack potency from that feat. It is likely not true due to max power Roshi being beyond Roshi's normal level of strength. Goku may not scale to this level yet, but he has a pretty valid argument in the 22nd Budokai arc. Goku returns from his travels around the world much stronger and faster. He blitzes everyone's perception besides his newest rival Tien when he takes out Pamput. Even Roshi could not perceive Goku's multiple strikes on the fighter in the quarterfinals. Goku then fights Krillin and in the end wins, after showing that his tail isn't a weakness anymore when Krillin tries to grab it. Goku didn't have any significant feats until he reached the finals of this Budokai. Tien defeated Jackie Chun in the semi-finals, and Roshi even admitted that he would have won even if he didn't forfeit the fight. This could imply that even Max Power Roshi's Kamehameha could have not defeated him. This is actually proven during the finals of the Budokai. Goku and Tien begin the battle with both being equals in skill, going blow for blow. Tien was forced to pull out many of his impressive techniques to keep up. He created 2 extra arms, but this wasn't really that effective against Goku due to him using his tail to fight. Tien then pulls out the Solar Flare, which tries to blind Goku, but this is when Goku performs the greatest speed feat so far in the series. He was able to move so fast that he could grab Roshi's sunglasses before the light from the Solar Flare could reach him. We know that Goku only started moving after the attack launched because we see him stationary right before Tien launched it. This feat has been calculated at an insane 1.6 times the speed of light, or FDL levels of speed. Some people call this feat an outlier. However, the series has had many sub-relativistic and relativistic feats from slower characters, like Goku in the Red Ribbon arc, the Power Pole weirdly enough, and possibly Max Power Roshi depending on your interpretation. It would make sense with how Goku could have gotten strong enough to reach such a level of speed, but it's up to you to decide if you find it valid. After Tien's failure in stopping Goku, he uses an attack known as the Tri-Beam. Roshi actually calls this attack more destructive than the Kamehameha, finally having an attack above Roshi's max power Kamehameha from the 21st Budokai. Goku dodges the attack, but he is relative in Tien in strength, and there is nothing implying that Tien went beyond his normal power to pull this feat off. Goku also has a power level of 180 during this point, which is equal to the low-end power level of Max Power Roshi. This would mean that Goku finally would scale at least close to the level of Max Power Roshi. In the end, Goku loses to Tien by a hair by being hit by a car, but he still proves his strength in this fight. Let's move on to the final saga of Kid Goku in the Piccolo Daimaoh saga. Goku starts this arc off in tragedy with the death of his best friend, Krillin. Goku rages out and gains the ability to fly from his fight against Tien when he flied, and tries to get revenge. Goku catches up to Krillin's killer. His name is Tambourine. Goku is fatigued from his fight against Tien, causing him to lose really badly to his green nemesis. Goku was luckily saved by a fat swordsman named Yajirobe, the GOAT. Goku fights him and states that he is the toughest opponent he has fought, making him likely that Yajirobe could actually solo your favorite verse. Yajirobe continues to show off by killing another one of the green demons named Symbol. If you wanted to hear more about Yajirobe, go watch my video about him. Who then gets a rematch against Tambourine and kills him with a Kamehameha. Sadly, this attracts the Beast's father, King Piccolo. Goku gets easily beaten, but this loss would allow him to gain a new level of strength which could go even further beyond. Yajirobe brings Goku to Korin's tower, giving Goku the chance to drink the Ultra Divine Water. The water is actually poison, and since Goku survived it, he has poison resistance. Goku goes to save his friends, but Roshi and Chaozu have already died. Goku one-shots Piccolo's final child, Drum. Goku at this point has a power level equal to Piccolo at 260. Piccolo upscales anything Roshi can do, since Roshi thought only the Mafuba could beat Piccolo, but not his max power. This makes Goku scaling above max power Roshi pretty consistent. Goku is able to also dodge Piccolo's Ki Blasts, which are actually light. Goku can react to these blasts, and the speed needed for this feat was calculated in the anime to be 27 to 93% the speed of light, or at relativistic to relativistic plus speeds. Manga for once is actually more impressive, having the feat calculated at 2.25 times the speed of light, or at FDL levels of speed. This feat is consistent with the Tien Solar Flare feat being 1.6 times the speed of light, and Goku and Piccolo being a good bit faster than that Goku. After an intense battle, Goku was able to fight with even a broken arm and eventually defeat Piccolo. The last things to note is that Goku is far below Kami, as he could flick him away with a finger, putting him below Kami's recreating of the moon at small star level. To dominate somebody in Dragon Ball, it could be as little as 2% difference shown with Vegeta versus Dodoria, making Goku possibly somewhat scale to a small fraction of Kami's power. Goku also gets hit by lightning in the anime, but he was also wearing a crown that pulled the lightning toward him like a Fortnite aimbot. so it probably wouldn't downscale Goku. Goku also survives in the time chamber for a month. We have all of Goku's feats. Let's see how strong Kid Goku truly is. Goku should scale in his first appearance in strength to being small building level and with subsonic to transonic speeds. Goku during the 21st Budokai would scale to small city to island levels of power, and have supersonic to a maximum of high hypersonic speeds if we use Roshi catching bullets, and scale it back to the tournament and Goku. Goku in the Red Ribbon arc should scale to city to high island level with hypersonic plus 2 relativistic levels of speed. Goku in the 22nd Budokai should scale to mountain level at the extreme lowest, but he is more consistently between moon to large planet level due to scaling somewhat close to max power Roshi, and should have relativistic to faster than light speeds. Finally, Kid Goku at his peak would scale to planet level all the way to dwarf star level, depending on how big you think the gap is between him and Kami. His speed would be faster than light at around 2 to 3 times the speed of light. Since we now know how strong Goku is, which anime characters can he beat? At his peak could easily solo Hunter x Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen, the Miyagi verse even with his chapter 1 level stats, and many more verses. One of the more interesting matchups, in my head at least, is Gear 5 Luffy versus Kid Goku. Many would just say that Luffy would just destroy, but let me tell you, it's a lot closer than you think. For attack potency, Luffy ranges between Continental for his Bajrang gun, and being planet to large planet level due to scaling to Whitebeard, who could destroy the world, which has multiple moons orbiting it. Speed-wise, Luffy is very fast. By the time of post-time skip, he is dodging lasers at relativistic speeds or around 10 to 50% the speed of light in base at least. Luffy by the time he got to Gear 5 should be dozens to hundreds of times the speed of light by using many of the power-ups he gets in the series. While Goku is the clear power advantage, being 1 to 2 tiers above Luffy in strength, in most scales at least, the speed gap is large. Goku is at best 3 times the speed of light, while Luffy is at least dozens of times the speed of light. With such a large gap in strength and speed, it comes down to stamina. Luffy on both Egghead and Elbaf usually transforms into Gear 5 quickly. This is Luffy's biggest mistake because after slamming his fist into Goku for a couple minutes for no damage, he would run out of Gear 5, leaving him helpless in his old man state. Even Luffy's Ryo durability negation would not really work here because Goku has been able to continue fighting even with a broken arm, and only one arc later, he has literally a hole in his chest. Luffy is way weaker than the Piccolos, meaning he would not be able to do such damage to his internals. Even if you ignore this example and say that it's just not how it works, Goku would survive in the time chamber for a month, with his organs being fine. The chamber has a gravity of 10 times Earth, and in Dragon Ball, this actually challenges fighters like Goku after fighting Raditz. If Goku's organs could handle small star levels of damage from the level of 10 times gravity, at least in the Dragon Ball universe, Goku could tank continental to planet level internal damage. Going back to the matchup, after Luffy runs out of Gear 5, Goku would be able to defeat the old man Luffy, giving him the win. This matchup is to mid to high diff due to Luffy's speed and internal destruction, but Goku wins in the end due to his superior strength. That's it for this video. Subscribe because I have way more great content like this coming out very soon. So thanks for watching.